It's Starry, and this is Starrylock and Starry's Lost and Found. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back. I am in the town of Graettinger. I'm a little bit east of the downtown area in an extensive athletic park. It has a little tot lot, but it's mostly baseball diamonds. I know I'm running a little bit early here, but the ending of daylight savings time has me, off on time. Feels like it's almost 9 instead of almost 8. Let's take a look at who is in the chat before we get out of the car. The earliest person I can see here is Lockpicking Engineer. I am Zaxxon is in the house. Rune International from Denmark. Orlando, the 717 detector. Dinglehopper, also from Denmark. Excellent channel if you want to go look at Iron Age burial sites. Why I keep mentioning Dinglehopper is he's still not at 100 subscribers. So if you haven't checked him out, click on that line and go to channel and go subscribe to him. Or at least check out his videos. Determine if you want to be subscribed to him and do it. But proceeding along, we have from Japan, God is Great. There's some interaction between the people here, which is great. Mandy Brown is in the house. Alien in Osaka is here, which is another person from Japan. So I got 2 people from Denmark and 2 people from Japan, and 1 person from Australia. I'm getting really international here for only 10 people. Very cool. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. Guedos. Wendy Tuskia. And that looks like we're at the end, but we only have 10 people, and I'm still, 7 minutes early. So, and Drew International is saying, hey, LPG, which is Lockpicking Scowl. I don't see her in my chat, so I don't know. Zaxxon says, hey, what about me, Starry? I'm from out of this world. There's Lockpicking Scowl. Oh. The numbers on my channel video views, I'm almost ready to make a rant about this. Geez, they've been really goofy. Somehow I have the shout out, the Road to 500 video I made for Tri-Valley has 600 views. It's only resulted in him gaining 6 subscribers, or 1% of the people who viewed it. I don't know how or why it's getting 600 views, though. So somebody must have really shouted it out in the right place, I guess. YouTube is a weird place. So, I hope you're all doing well. You made it through, as Marlon will say when we get to his live in 2.5 hours. You made it through another week. And indeed you did. You made it up to me anyway, and I'm sure you'll make it as far as him. Down in the description on both channels, I don't know of any Sunday morning lives in Lock Sport, so I've not put them on the Starrylock. I only know of some Treasure Fam lives. Right now, simultaneous with me is Leonardo Rob with FL Thunder Digging with Rob. He has his Sunday morning live that runs from 8 in the morning until shortly after Marlin gets started. So about 2.5 hours. It's a great time. It's a great giveaways. I do not have a link right now there because his posting of his link came late enough that I didn't get in. I'm sorry. But there is a link to his channel in the description. You can go there, find his, and say Starry Raid when you join his live. About the time I end, Digging Canuck has her Coffee with Liz is back on Sunday, and it is starting just as I end. There's a link to her live. After that will be MAERvideos with his co-host Tripwire. And there's a link to his live down below. And then Guedos has his Hangover Sunday. And then I think it's every other week the Mercian has his live. So it's a busy adventures with Goat. And Marlon has joined us. And Lucky Katie and KR Experiences. Rob and Katie from Portugal are here. Chris Capoon is here. We are up to 16 people. I found Alien in Osaka. I don't remember how exactly I found his channel. His most recent videos are people in Halloween costumes from Halloween at the time. People celebrating Halloween in Osaka, Japan. So, BC Treasure Trails. Detect, Dig, and Smile. Dana Reed. Don't worry, people who have showed up. You were on time. I was early. You haven't missed anything. So, we are back in Palo Alto County. So, my old atlas here has a very lengthy paragraph. Less than half a page, though. So, Martin Smith is here. If you do not have your blue wrench, I can't give it to you now, but I will give it to you as soon as YouTube has processed this video and has re-added the live chat, which isn't there right away when the chat ends because they have to process everything. So, we are in Graettinger. It is a town of 834 people. It hit its population peak at slightly over 1,000 in the 1950s. We'll find out a little bit of its history here, and then we'll start looking around. I am so happy for everyone who has joined us. Let's see here. Graettinger, a well-known physician of Milwaukee, owned about 2,000 acres of land in Walnut Township, where the railroad was surveyed. And he offered the railroad Company a half interest in the northwest quarter of Section 9, through which the right-of-way passed, if they would plot a town. The railroad officials, desiring to be on the ground floor, organized the Cedar Rapids, Iowa Falls, and Northwesterner Town Lot Company, which took the half interest in the town plot of the town of Graettinger. The railroad went through in the late year of 1882. For several years there was nothing to the prospective town but the depot and a house on the hill occupied by August Reichler. In 1885, J.A. Spies and his father came to Graettinger and built a house there, and also put up farm buildings for their farm in Section 5. In case you were wondering what these whole references to sections are, administrative subdivisions in the U.S., you have states, and then it subdivides into counties. In the case of Iowa, we have 99 counties. Each county is subdivided into townships, and then each township is subdivided into sections. And that's what the reference to sections are. I don't know, outside of Iowa, I know there are other states that use townships. Not all of them even use counties, so I don't know. But that's how it works in Iowa, at least. The Town Lot Company became discouraged about this time, and Mr. Spies bought them out. H.N. Osier was a station agent at the time and asked Mr. Goodell, the division superintendent at Esterville, if he would put in a small stock of goods in the depot, as they had to go clear to Emmitsburg for their supplies. And Mr. Goodell, and in case you're wondering, Emmitsburg is about a 15-minute drive from here. Obviously, in the 1880s, you wouldn't be driving at 55 miles an hour, so it'd take you a bit. Mr. Goodell replied that they were about to move the depot to Osgood, which we see what was left of Osgood these days, but there was something there then, and that would not be worthwhile. This is the first intimation that they had that the enterprising people of Osgood were offering to move the depot down there free of charge. Fortunately for Graettinger, the town lot deal was not fully closed, and Mr. Spies notified the town lot company that they did not want the lots if the depot was moved. The prospect of this deal slipping through their fingers roused the officials to action, and the order to move the depot was rescinded. So we'd have a very different looking county if we didn't have all this local politics coming in here. And Graettinger was saved by a narrow margin. In 1887, General Zahm, George. I have to figure out these abbreviations. George Zahm built the first store, but in the following year, he sold out to H.N. Osier, who still occupies the same store as the pioneer merchant of the town. Mr. Zahm soon after built another store. The same store building was occupied by the Welldale store. Several other stores started. The first lumber yard in 1889. 1886, the people wanted a school and demanded a school, so they got one. And a teacher, Mrs. Anna Donahue, at that time, Miss Anna Mohan, was a teacher and rode horseback 3 miles every morning against the bleak northwest wind to the school. The next year, a floor was added, but no shingles on the roof. So, this seems to skip over the fact that the reason why the town is even named Graettinger is that physician in Milwaukee who started this all was named Graettinger. And while he never lived in the town of Graettinger itself, his brother did. And to this day, you will see supervisors raced for county supervisor. That will usually include, I'm putting my glove on, so that's why you're getting set down. That will usually include someone with the name Graettinger for this area. Okay, so Emily Blessing has come in. I can't reel back the chat without taking off my gloves, and it's a little chilly to take off my gloves, so I'll just have to catch you as you come in. Tony from Fun with Dirt is here. Okay, off in that direction, which is to the west, we will be heading to the downtown as soon as we take a quick look around. On the east end of the downtown area, we have, there are several city parks in this town. From the highway, you could drive right by this town, and it looks like there's just a sign that says Graettinger Business District. And there's a little convenience store, there's a Dollar General, and I think 2 houses. And that looks like it's the whole town from the highway, but which is sort of the perspective I was trying to get with that photo in the thumbnail, because all you could see from that photo was the elevator sitting above the trees. Anyway, I am ranting here, rambling. This park has not just one, but 2 baseball diamonds, sets of bleachers, a tot lot, a picnic area, Stanton's Journey is here. Morning, sir. It is nice having all of you join me. Don't know how exciting or interesting this will end up being, but I hope you'll have fun. There's obviously times in which this parking lot is closed off. And we have the local rail line here, which is probably owned by Pacific Union, because Pacific Union bought pretty much all the railroad that remained of the Northwesterner. I'm not sure what this little corral is all about. That's why I came over here. Okay, we have a strange little corral. We have signs of a vehicle backing up to the corral, so I'm going to walk the downtown. If there is still time remaining, I'm going to check out those paths, because we have paths that head off into the woods. This is assuming that my left knee doesn't give out on me before we get done here. Full-string barnacles. It's here from the UK. I've got a switch down there, separating it from one track into two before we head toward the grain elevator. Here I am with my knee being painful, trying to walk on railroad cinders. Rock, yeah, that's smart. Let's get to more stable ground. So, thank you for showing up. What to me is morning. I know it is 15 hours in the future in Japan. Depending on the part of Australia, it's somewhere around there, a little bit more, a little bit less. 6 and 7 hours for the UK and Europe. So we have people from all sorts of time of day. If we are incredibly lucky, we may even catch a train this morning. I don't know what their schedule is. Remind me to take a look at any vintage vehicles, because Wayside Wade will show up usually after the fact and complain if I haven't given a good perusal to vintage vehicles. Not complain per se. I mean, it's not like he's upset or something. But so, 834 people. Once upwards of 1,000 in the 1950s. The Graettinger family still lives in the area and has an influence on both county and local politics. And I'm sure other family names from those late 19th century are probably influencing things still too. Desert Deb. I think I recognize the name, but welcome to the channel. If I am simply forgetting you, for which I am very sorry, welcome back. Otherwise, I will be getting your blue wrench to you when YouTube has processed the video and re-edited the chat, which will happen sometime in a couple days. We have a little deserted railroad building. We'll look at that when we're on our way back on the other side. So I don't know what it's like in the area where you are at. And here in Iowa, they have been pushing these banners. Emmitsburg has them. Several other small towns do as well. This one is Graettinger's Small Town Big Heart Business Community, established 1893, which is a good 11 years after they were plotting its building. Starcom. I'm not sure what Starcom is. But it's in the same building as the River Valley Telecommunication Company. So I'm sure it probably has something to do with one of those topics. Once again, we have an example of wearing in there. They did all that plastering on the side of the building, and that has started to flake off, revealing the underlying brick. And this building does not look occupied. You can see that in there better than I can. Yeah, maybe not through that window. So, we have at least one business that is no longer in use. And I'd say from the flaking paint and the look of the inside, it probably hasn't been in use in a while. There is, throughout the town, these helpful signs that they have put up, like high school, evergreen park, and swimming pool. So we obviously have another not sure what that business was. It had some Go Titans. And this town actually opens up on Sunday. Their hardware store opens up at 9 a.m. Oh, I'm guessing that first business is also tied in with the hardware store, because the end of the hardware store had another exterior speaker. Accent Studios, only open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that is somebody who has other activities they're doing during the week when they can't run this store. We have Revive Salons Rustics, not open on Sundays. They have maybe it's a city thing to have the radio station playing. I don't know. Custom screen printing. Send me an email. I'd be happy to check out these ghost towns. There is the Senior Center. Their G Market opens up at 8:30 in the morning. So they have a supermarket open on Sundays. We have a photography store down here. Another informative sign telling us that City Hall and Hillcrest Golf Course are to my left and the light plant is to my right. We have the Graettinger Chiropractic Clinic. And Marlon has obviously checked out Alien in Osaka as he's reporting that there is cool costumes there. And that is indeed the case. Alien in Osaka, I'll have to, if somebody who has a Blue Wrench could post his link, I'd appreciate it, because I know he's new to the channel for the chats, and so I do not to add him for certain. And Desert Deb, I'm not sure on. There is the American Legion building. And we are nearly out of the downtown area. That up there, in case you're wondering, is the speaker system for, more than likely, volunteer fire department, tornadoes, and serves as the noon whistle as well. Okay, we started out in one city park before I turn around and start heading back east. Let's head up here and try not to slip on the crab apples. We have a tot lot and another raised area over here. Not only would this area be interesting to metal detect because of potentially the tot lot, but this up here, I have to check into history of it, but is clearly an older house. Not sure what these two, oh, there's 3 of those markers. Sure, they had a purpose in their day, but not sure what they are. I'm more interested in paroling the paths in the park and heading down and checking out their still actively in use high schools. So just have you know, the high school is right there. And they are obviously the Titans. Because as soon as you're out of the downtown area, the banners get replaced by Titan signs. Down there is the Methodist Church. It's a structure from the 1950s. The Catholic Church is in one direction, is to the north, and the Lutheran is to the south. But we're going to head back and check out the other side of the downtown. Make sure you check each other out. It's the purpose of giving everyone moderatorship. If someone does not have a wrench right now, they will by next week. So make certain you there's another look at that property. You got stairs that clearly once went somewhere. And this little stone square sitting out of the ground. I'll have to do some research. That property has me intrigued. History mentioned one of the first houses in town being built on a hill, and that seems to be the hill of town. So That might be the site of an 1880s house. I know that the site of the oldest house in Emmitsburg is a vacant lot now, because its old brick structure fell apart before anyone thought to put any effort into preserving it. And we visited two. This is the third city park, and there was a sign to an evergreen park. So there is at least 4 city parks in this town. Fawnstock Park. About and Forgotten Wales is here. Thank you. There's another really good channel to check out. If you get bothered by claustrophobic videos, it may not be the channel for you, as he goes into the narrow remains of abandoned mines in Wales. But I find it really exciting. There is their Veterans Memorial, along with a tree and a tiny little plaque for a memorial for someone. We are large enough not only to have a phone company, but to have Bank Plus. I've never heard of Bank Plus, but it's a bank for this town. We are all the way up to 44 degrees at 8:30. I know I started early, so we're going to run a little long, but we're about half done now. So if I was monetized, I'd be worried about all the music playing down here, but you can see the power plant down there and the grain elevator there. There is the Lodge on Main. From the signs on the side, it looks open. From here, it does not. So, but there's fairly recent beer signs in the windows, and a big wasp nest. Luckily, it's a bit chilly for wasps. And right next to the bar is a pub, and the library will be closed today. And Villa grocery sack for $2 of the books. Well, abandoned. The windows, however, have been renovated, and the sign lay stop. Coming soon is not all that in the amount of work there are. The about that. Apparently, the building at the post office is built in blocks the cell signal. So, but we are back. Their video said he'll be back, and indeed I was. We have there. So I can't show you everything in the post office because, well, it cuts us off. Please use main clinic door, which is here. And this is all part of the Palo Alto County health system and is tied in with Mercy One. It's interesting. The health clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We got a little vacant lot that was probably once a building. Got signs of where it was attached to this building, so. And we have some china there, but everything else looks deserted in there, so I'd say that one is not in use. But the Connie's cut above, this looks like an old bank building, but it is now a salon. Connie's cut above salon and spa. So there's a clear look at the elevator. This building here is the volunteer fire department. And we have Titan Nation and Go Titan. Obviously, their school system requires grade school kids to draw pictures to post in the windows. I was a terrible artist as a kid. My school made me do things like that, and my dad would. I actually got grounded for making such a bad picture, and the school made him post it in his business window. He was so upset about that. But this is Upper Des Moines Opportunity. They have various charity programs going on. They will, around Christmas, take toy donations and distribute it to families in need. That's the only program I'm aware of that they do, but obviously they do a whole lot more. I do not think this building is what was originally attached to that chimney. And Legless Lockpicker is here. Yeah, Colorado sounds like it's gotten nailed pretty heavy with snow already. 10 inches and heavy winds. Ice. Master Lock, it's part of the commercial series at least. Say what this business is, but the close sign is up, and there's a stack of chairs just inside the door. And the Dr. Pepper machine does not have, well, it does have power. I don't know if that's open or not. And I don't know if this is still in use or not. It is definitely weather worn. Very little to no paint left. I would say it is not in use, as the roof is partially collapsed over here. We have some more similar buildings further down the way. Let me see here. We're at 47 minutes. That's about almost 40 after. Make sure when I am done here to go check out, either head over to Rob's, or if you want to multitask, you can head over to Rob's and to Coffee with Liz, which is moved back to Sunday. There's a link to Rob's channel. Sorry, we never had a train. If I was even questioning this being owned by Union Pacific, there's our evidence, UPRR, Union Pacific Railroad. I really can't read the chat at the moment as I have sunlight directly in my face. We're clear on both sides, so we'll cross over in front of the G-Town car wash. This area actually has a tendency of doing that. Instead of this being Graettinger, this is G-Town. And Emmitsburg they call E-Berg. And I do not know in Esterville if they actually call Esterville Eville, but that is how the people of Emmitsburg refer to Esterville, who has been a long-term football rival, has Eville for shortening of Esterville. Citizens Memorial Park. It has one of those Ragbri sculptures we saw when we walked the Fit Trail. That is a very old tree. Yes, after we are done with, Zaxxon reminds everyone that there is a link down in the description of both Starrylock and Starry's Lost and Found for this. Get to Mayor's video. This is a creator's meet and greet. This is a great time to meet other channels. It started out mostly oriented toward Treasure Fam, but he doesn't limit it. I do warn you though, when you go there, is the chat is limited to subscribers. So if you go there, make sure you hit the subscribe. join in the chat. It's a great time. MJIRL is here, and I don't think she's been. I don't remember. It's been here on a Sunday. Chat and explore. So if you haven't been, I'll make certain to give you a wrench once YouTube has this video processed, and then the next time you show up, you'll have a blue wrench and you can post your channels. Hopefully I am Zaxxon or one of the other moderators has done so for you today. My knee is bothering me, and my back is actually bothering me, so I think we are going to end after a short chat at the car. No walk in the park, I am sorry. Tripwire from Straight Up Metal Detecting is here. Also, go back through the chat once we're in the car, because I'll have my glove off. It is a nice sunny day. It is supposed to get incredibly windy later. Oh. Desert Deb is in California, just like Chris Capoon, which makes it 2 hours earlier there. Oh, yeah, we have our gloves off. And I have my tablet with me. And I'm thinking, hey, why don't I use my phone as a hotspot? And then I can go into the chat right now and add people. But it's not seeming to work for whatever reason. But we have networks for BookNet. I'm not sure why the hotspot isn't showing up. Oh well. Scratch that plan. There we go. You get to have the pleasure or displeasure of seeing me for the rest of the video, as you've already seen the Memorial Park. Bobby Ramos is here and wants to make sure you know to hit that like button. Hit that notification. All in cap letters, because that's, must be emphasized. Thank you. My hair is a little in disarray. That's because the wind is already picking up out there. So you'll have to forgive my appearance. I'm drinking some water and rehydrating. Of all the things to find, I got that upside down. I got a Sally Ride quarter in my change yesterday, so I have a good stack of those. I also have in a 1 ounce silver rounds for the Chinese New Year's. It'll be the rabbit year next year. And Perth Mint put out. And they are making colorized coins this year. So I picked up a pair of colorized rabbit silver coins from the Perth Mint, and I will be doing a giveaway for $7.50 soon because my subscriber count made a big jump on Starry's Lost and Found the last couple of days. I'm not sure who drew attention to my channel, but I ended up with a lot of views on 3 or 4 videos. Not all of them, just 3 or 4 of them. I say 3 or 4 because it's definitely 3. The video in Fairmont of me watching the train and sharing it with you went from, I think, 90 views to 712 suddenly in a week's time. And then my video sharing the hobo coin jumped. I figured it was going to, the 1 minute video I did of going into the school in Ayrshire has like 35 views, and that's where the hobo coin was sitting. And then 3 days in, it suddenly caught on shorts, and zip, it's around 3,400 now, and it's brought in 7 subscribers. So I don't know what caused a video that had been out for 3 days to suddenly go zip, but one of the other videos was the video I'd made for Road to 500 for Tri-Valley Metal Detecting and Outdoors. And it is over 600 views. I think it's 630 some odd views. But only 1% of those people subscribe to Tri-Valley. So that's as successful as a shout out. Wow, 200K. I have never done that, Zaxxon. That's impressive. I don't know what triggers, shorts to skyrocket like that. 3.4K is the best I've ever done, so I can't. Oh. I have been taking the one possibility for why at least the original railroad video, which is about 90 seconds, zipped up to 700 was I did get over 1,000 views on the short I extracted from it, which just shows the Union Pacific engine as it crosses the screen. And I made that a 9-second short and got about 1,500 views. And analytics say that it brought over viewers, so maybe that's why that did that. But I'm not sure why the shout out for Tri-Valley ended up with over 600 views. I can figure out why there is no real sign of it leading to subscribers, because it's the average view time on it now with over 600 views is 10 seconds, which means nobody's even getting to the shout out. Meh. You know, Bud Files is with us. Good to see you here this morning. They are up in South Dakota. Their early videos were visiting cemeteries. They have some urban exploring videos, some museum visits, and some paranormal videos as well. So they are doing fairly well. They've gotten, I think they're into the 700s for subscribers, maybe 800s by now. Okay, well, I am going to draw this to an end. I hope you, if you go and check out any of the lives that I mentioned, and you'll find a link to in the description, make sure you say Starry Raid so they know I sent you. Obviously, Marlon already knows that. It'll sound a bit weird 90 minutes from now for you to say Starry Raid, but, you know, feel free to do so. It's not going to hurt anything. But if you say Starry Raid, follow it with Early Bird so you can get into his Early Bird drawing. Take care, everyone. If you do not have a wrench, I'll be taking care of that, like I said, once YouTube allows me to see the chat again. And I hope to see you soon.